Hello there, hello there, hello there out there on Facebook, you gorgeous design divas, you. And hello there to you on Instagram. You guys look great. Hello to you on Facebook, my design divas, smart, savvy design lovers that you are. It's so good to be here with you. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the interior design advocate because I advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere to help you erase the ugly room, get rid of the disappointing result. And I do that with the incredible online courses that I create, especially for you, and they work and they move the needle for people across the United States and beyond. And when I am not coaching and teaching in design, something I just adore doing, I run a luxury interior design company here in the Philadelphia region of the United States. We do everything from full room design to multi-room design to new construction and renovation, really big residences, really beautiful, refined, smaller scaled residences. It's all about the beauty, not about the size, and we're able to do it all. So every week on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I stop what we're doing here at our design studio to come out here and teach you a lesson on something. In fact, I just raced up from the design studio and I brought some wallpaper samples and an interesting shade sample. If I have time, I'll show it to you. But anyway, it has nothing to do with the topic we're talking about today. Today we're talking about the very real, I'm going to say pressure or effect that your home environment has on you. In fact, just as I ask some questions, I'd love for you to type a word or two to answer me. So, for example, a room in your home, you can't stand the way it looks, just drives you crazy. Maybe many rooms in your home, or maybe it's one room that every time you walk by it, it just doesn't feel good. Just type in the chat section, what is the feeling that you get when you look at a space in your home, you don't like the way it looks or feels? What is the feeling that you get when you spend any time in those spaces in your home that you don't like the way they look or feel? I'll give you a couple of minutes to just fill that in. And I don't know why I repeated myself there, but anyway, I'll give you a couple minutes to start filling that in. And I want you to know that this is a question I ask in my workshops. It's a question I ask when I do public speaking. And I'll tell you what, the answers I get they all start to fall into the same categories. And I'll just wait to see what you guys put in. But I want you to know you're not crazy. You're not a nut for feeling an effect by your home environment. In fact, as you start to fill in that info, I want to read it out. I want to see who's out there today. I want to tell you that there's something called environmental psychology, where psychologists actually measure the way your environment absolutely affects the way you feel, the way you function. So I'm just going to read out a couple of stats for you, statistics here. And later on, I will take your design project question. Happy to answer you across a whole range of design, right? Very often I just have you stay on topic. Today's a free-for-all. As long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer you well, I'm happy to take your project question. So anyway, so right now you're typing to me a word or phrase. How do you feel when you're in a room in your home that you just don't like? Or if you walk by it and just look at it, okay? What are the feelings? A word or a phrase. And as you're doing that for me, I want to share some stats with you, some statistics. Research has shown that sterile environments can elicit, ready for this? Sterile environments can elicit feelings of fear, anxiety, and stress. Now, sterile environments. So if you're designing a prison, are those really beautifully adorned spaces? No. Those are very sterile, disturbing feeling environments, right? But statistics show that these kinds of spaces that feel sterile can elicit feelings of anxiety, feelings of stress, feelings of even fear, right? So if you're creating a correctional facility, now you know what goes into the thinking behind that design, right? How about this one? The National Institute of Corrections did a study and found that just even in a sterile environment, putting in a depiction, a picture of nature measurably reduced stress. Just a picture. So imagine what happens when you do something in your home to elevate the view outdoors by, I don't know, trimming, by framing it with window treatments, or bringing in some organic material that feels like you're bringing the outdoors in. Pretty amazing, right? Let me go further. When people are starting to give me on Instagram how they feel when they walk by a space in their home, they don't like the way it looks or feels. It makes me feel overwhelmed. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It feels depressing to me. It makes me feel empty. It makes me feel mentally cluttered. Ooh, these are so good. Instagram makes me feel blah. Get that one a lot too. Feel overwhelmed. Getting a lot of people saying overwhelmed. So again, I ask you, when you join me, just give me a word or a phrase to tell me how you feel when you are walking through your home and something just doesn't feel good. Let's see. Okay. Rachel, Armada is saying she feels, blah. It's just no way to say that better. That was good, Rachel. I'm sorry, not Rachel. Lisa's saying it makes her feel cold inside. Trisha said she feels frustrated. Shelly, oh, this is a good one. Shelly says makes her feel sad. Becky says she feels like disconnected. Lois says depressed. Confined from Amy. Overwhelmed from Anne. Dean Paul, unaccomplished. Colleen Lunt, are you a writer? This is a good one. Empty busyness. Did you feel that one? Empty busyness. Martha feels confused. Okay, these are just so overwhelmed from Usha. Stressed from Bunny. Sandra is saying disorganized stress. So, okay, unsettled from Karen. Whew, let's shake that off. I mean, I can feel all that, right? You're not nuts. There are environmental psychologists doing studies on how your environment affects you. I'm going to give you a couple more, and then we're going to turn this around. I promise. We're going to get you out of those yucky feelings. Did you know that studies suggest, and I've shared this one with you in the past, if you've been with me in any of these Facebook and Instagram lives, did you know that large rooms with high ceilings are shown in studies to increase creativity and inspiration? Rooms with high ceilings can increase creativity and inspiration in studies. Same studies also suggest that rooms with lower ceilings help individuals to focus more on the task at hand. Think about that. I gave this example a couple weeks ago when we were talking about something having to do with sort of this topic. And I said, let's say you are moving into, 55 plus community, or you're upsizing into that home you've always wanted to have. You're involved in some new build, and the builder says, hey, we have a special option. If you want in your office, we could vault your ceiling for you. We can do that. Do you want to spend a little extra dollars and do that? Well, if you're an accountant, you might say, I don't think I want a high ceiling in an office, because studies have shown that a lower ceiling helps people focus on the task at hand. But if you're a painter or maybe a writer, maybe you want that higher ceiling, because studies have shown that that one adjustment in an environment can start to affect the way you feel. Okay, another one. Academy of Neuroscience has said that they are promoting more research to be able to measure how your environment can be used to maximize feelings of well-being and focus. How your environment can affect feelings of well-being. Guys, this is not unique to you as a design lover. Doesn't make you woo-woo and nuts. This is something that people are actually measuring in groups of individuals. A beautiful quote from Winston Churchill. I shared this at the Design Diva conference that we had a couple of years ago. We shape our dwellings, and afterwards our dwellings shape us. I'll say it again. It's that good. We shape our dwellings, and afterwards our dwellings shape us. You know who said that? Winston Churchill. Yes. So here's why I'm telling you all of this. If you are a sensitive in design, and the fact that you are spending time with me, taking my online courses, going to my free workshops, spending time with me in these great Tuesday meetups, these fireside chats, minus the fire and the booze that might go along with it, or the cocktail or the coffee and the snacks. If you are interested in studying with me, chances are pretty darn good that you are a sensitive in design. If you are attracted to interior design, chances are darn good that you are a sensitive in design. What do I mean by that? I mean that some piece of you understands that it is affected by the way your home looks and feels. Go a step further. Happy home in your childhood, not happy home in your childhood. Chances are pretty good, as I observe people, that you might be pulling things forward from that childhood home to make you feel good. If it was a happy home, you might be pulling elements forward. I know I did that without even realizing it. My mother had a purple wallpaper, purple floral wallpaper in her kitchen. First kitchen I ever designed in the home Stephen and I shared. It has since been redone, but it had a little bit of purple inside of a vine that was on a wallpaper. My mother had a black wrought iron metal fixture in her dining room. That was the first fixture I ever picked out for myself. Did I do it purposely? No, but I started to see these connections. Now, if maybe your childhood home wasn't your happy place, chances are you're saying, I don't want the color orange. I couldn't stand growing up in that home, and that color orange was in our home, and I want to stay as far away from it now as possible. Our dwellings shape us, and after a while, we shape our dwellings, and vice versa, right? As Winston Churchill so eloquently said. So why do I talk about the fact, are you a design sensitive? Because if you know that about yourself, then why not feed and fill your spirit? I know that years ago, as an example, an analogous analogy, I wanted to grow yellow yarrow in my garden here in the Philadelphia region. I just wanted it. I wanted that particular shade of color, of yellow. And every year I would plant yellow yarrow, and every year it would die. 3 years in a row. Finally, I looked up and I said, okay, so yellow yarrow does not want to grow in this part of my garden. And around the time that I reached that conclusion, it only took me 3 years, a wonderful mentor of mine, she's been like a life mentor, I adore her to bits. She once said to me, Donna, there comes a point in your life when you need to recognize your constitution, recognize who you are, and feed and fill that. It was the yarrow. Yarrow had a constitution where it didn't want to be in that portion of our yard. Well, knowing how to feed and fill your constitution in interior design so that you are creating a home space that nurtures you, that lifts you, that focuses you, that relaxes you. The world is tough enough. I don't need to tell you that. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. There is enough challenge out there that your home space, there should be something sacred in that for you to make you feel fabulous. But Donna, you say, I need a big budget. Not necessarily. Can you hold a paintbrush and get out a can of paint? That alone could make a huge difference for you. But Donna, I need some skill. But Donna, I need some strategy. Yeah, you do. And that is why I have these amazing online courses. They work, they move the needle. And I hear from all of you all the time, thousands of women I have taught across the country and beyond in just my paid courses, my free workshops. I'm into the hundreds of thousands of women and men. And the feedback is always, I get it. I know how to make my home look fabulous now, feel fabulous. So I definitely want to invite you to check out the link that I put here in Facebook. Check out my online courses. If you haven't already done so, go to theinteriordesignadvocate.com and click on the Learn Interior Design Online tab if you're on Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, click on the link I have there for you. Check out the 3 amazing courses that I offer. They work beautifully in tandem together. They build on one another. They don't repeat information between them. You don't need one to be able to do another. So you can jump in where you wish. We tend to find that once people take one of my courses, they drink it up so fast they can't wait to drink up another one. If you like what you're seeing in those courses, by all means, check out the 20% off coupon that we have been keeping active throughout COVID. I hate the fact that you are feeling the kind of stress you're feeling across the United States and beyond. So if I can help that in any way, shape, or form to help you beautify your environment, I want to be able to do that for you, because as a design sensitive myself, I know how powerful that is to feel lifted and nurtured by your space, energized by your space. So check out my online courses on the Learn With Me tab on our website, and we are keeping that 20% off coupon valid for you right now through COVID, and we have not decided yet when we're going to take it down. Eventually we will, but right now it's there for you. Alrighty? So that was what I wanted to share with you today, that you're not nuts if you feel affected by the way your home looks and feels. You are, with a giant N, totally normal. And of course, a giant L for totally lovable. I love the fact that you're sensitive in design and interested in design. So with that said, I'm going to take your questions about your project. Whatever it is you'd like to ask me, feel free, as long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer you well. Why do I say that? Because I don't want to give you a garbage answer. And certain things in design is very visual if you ask me a specific question. So try to keep your question general enough that I don't need to see a picture. And no, don't start describing your home to me, because if you're doing pantomime design, that's not going to work either. Oop, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's probably telling me that we have a conference call to get to soon. All right, so let's see who's asking what. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm getting a lot of hellos and such from across the country, so hello to everybody. So Brenda is saying, my dining room needs a refresh. I'm not sure where to start. Brenda, you always start with your budget. You got to start with your design fingerprint, and you back in from there, because your budget tells you what can you afford to do right now in phase one in that room. Is it a new rug, a new paint color? I don't know. Is it new chairs and a new paint color? I don't know. Is it a new light fixture and that's it for now? So you got to start your projects with budget always, right? So that you know what's possible. Claire is saying, hi Donna, I hope you can give me your thoughts about my recent post. Oh my dear, Claire, I don't know what your recent post would be, so I apologize. There are just hundreds of you and one of me, so you're gonna have to re-ask your question of me here now. I'm sorry to say. Sorry, babes. Trisha is saying, a COVID delayed relocation to a newly renovated home. Blank slate is making me crazy. I am a decorating don't. Trisha, I'm telling you, check out my online courses. This is not a cheap plug. This is me telling you that there is help out there. And that's why I created my online courses. I wanted to make it accessible for anybody and everybody to have a beautiful home. I don't care what your budget is. I don't care what your design style is. I teach design strategy and design formula, so that the style is, that's your decision, and the budget is your decision. So you'll be amazed at what you can do, Trisha. I hope you'll check it out. So let's see, questions. These are people still telling me how they feel when they don't like a space. I'm getting more hellos. Okay. So Susan Faulkner Benner is saying, just wanted to tell you, thank you for your courses. I'm still not great, and I don't have a huge budget, but so much more confident in my choices, and have even offered my sister, who thinks that she has so much more design knowledge, I have offered her suggestions that, whoop, I just missed it. I've offered her suggestions that she has loved and implemented. Susan, that is fantastic. Here's the thing with design strategy and formula, you lean into those formulas, you lean into that strategy, and that's what makes the difference. Hey, while you're still putting in your questions, I just want to let you know that next week we're talking about kitchen renovation. It's called Kitchen Renovation, Plan for the Best, Expect the Worst. Kitchen renovation, plan for the best, expect the worst, and we'll be taking you through some must-knows for that as well. Eileen is saying, hey, I have a guest room small at 10 feet by 15.5. That is small. That 10 makes it tight. I'm thinking large wall mural. That includes a picture of window opening to outdoors to make the space feel bigger. Thoughts? Yeah, without seeing it, Eileen, I think that sounds really interesting. I teach inside of Decorating Genius 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. It's one of my courses. I teach about advancing and receding color. So I do like to encourage people to do colors that move away from you in small rooms, to keep pushing. You want to keep pushing the walls out and lifting the ceiling. And there are things you can do with color and contrast that will absolutely move the needle for you there. And then, of course, Eileen, once you've mastered the color, of course, there are other little tricks. The one you described sounds interesting as well. Mirror in there, big oversized mirror in there to keep opening, expanding that space. Also kind of cool. So check that out. Trisha says she's going to check out my courses. Great, Trisha. I'd love to take you under my design wing in my courses. So I hope to see you there. Tijana 415 on Instagram is saying, what's a good wall color for a relaxation reading room? Okay, well, this is interesting. Studies are done that say, this color raises your blood pressure and this color makes you hungry. I don't always think that applies to everybody across the boards. I think that our childhood homes affect us. your favorite happy place from when you were a kid. Maybe it was your grandmother's home. Maybe it wasn't even your home. I think that affects us. So what I find relaxing, what you find relaxing might be two very different things. In general, though, for a relaxation vibe, the easiest thing to do that will almost never fail, keep your color palette lighter rather than deeper and more saturated. Sprinkle in lots of creams or soft grays if gray makes you happy. Some people hate gray, some people love it, but soft creams, creamy whites, soft sandy colors to cut whatever your main color is that you're using. So rather than doing deep blue, you might do a very watered down blue. Instead of doing a deep green, you might do a watered down green. That said, saturated green for me, emerald green. I just posted a picture of my own family room for today's Instagram Live and Facebook Live. And I got so many comments, people saying, oh, this is such a relaxing room. That green for me is so relaxing, but it's just a little dose. And you'll see how I sprinkle in a lot of creamy neutral around it. So that's a quick, $5, not even 5 cent answer for you without knowing more about your design personality, what you're attracted to in design. Angela Culbert is saying, are corner whirlpools still a great option? No, everyone is doing soaking tubs. I know. Soaking tubs are really hot right now. They're not easy to get in and out of. If you have hip issues, if you are a baby boomer, I kind of wonder about them. And you know what? I'm a bath taker and I love having a place to put my coffee mug and my book. So I do think that for some of us, having a deck around your tub is nice. So there are some really pretty drop-in tubs, but that whole corner tub look, that's kind of dated, not really happening so much. There it is. Okay. So Dimpal is saying, I have taken the CPR course. I plan on taking Window Boss. Yay. So I should tell you about my courses. So there's Window Boss, planning and selecting the perfect window treatments for you, whether you're ready-made, semi-custom, or custom. There's Design CPR, creating perfect rooms with accessories, which the title says it all, is how to reinvent a room by leaning into the power of accessories. Accessories are the lowest cost and the lowest hanging fruit. So really powerful to do things there. And I teach a little bit smudge about a color trick in there as well. And I teach some furniture layout tricks in there as well. Why? Why do I teach that in an accessorization course? Because you don't accessorize the room. You accessorize the furniture layout. And if you screw up your furniture layout, you'll never, ever get a good result with your accessories. Well, that's $1 million tip for you right there. And then another super popular online course of mine is Decorating Genius, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms, or DGS. And in Decorating Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms, I take you start to finish through a room. What you need to do, when to do it, how to do it, why to do it. So I'm glad, Dimpal, that you're enjoying them. She goes on to say that these classes have been, what happened there? Sorry. Going on to say that these classes have been instrumental in making sure my space reflects me. I am so glad. So I'm guessing that you are loving that space because you are a lovable lady. There it is. Thank you, Dimpal. I'm glad you're liking the courses or loving the courses. I love having you there. So GHGRE1 on Insta saying, will you make a suggestion for a rug type for a high traffic entryway? Is polypropylene the best type? No. Well, indoor outdoor is always good. And those tend to be a lot of nylons and polys, right? But depending upon your design fingerprint and so forth and your budget, wool is always fantastic because it is a naturally stain repellent product. Why? It's all the lanolin in that fiber. Steve Hoffman's sending me these questions fast and furious. Anyway, so generally speaking, nylon rugs, unless it's an indoor outdoor, are not the most stain resistant rugs out there. Oh dear. Wow. Okay. We're going to run. Oh my God. Okay. I have time for 2 more questions. One of our virtual team members is leaving, retiring, and we need to interview somebody to take his place. So I have a conference call in about 4 minutes. Okay, so Hun Unbun said, what do you mean by colors that move away from you? Color either moves toward the eye and gives the illusion of taking up space, or it moves away from the eye, it recedes, it makes spaces look bigger. That's what I mean by that. And I go into that in full blown out formula and detail, very visual as well, inside of Decorating Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. So you may want to check that out. And one more question I'll Bunny's saying, I'm finding I'm getting a burr under my saddle over ceilings lately. Any thoughts on incorporating ceilings in design? Oh my gosh, I love doing ceiling design. I was just talking to one of my designers today about a guest bedroom that we're doing, and we're really trying to watch the budget on this particular room. It's not the highest priority room in the house that we're home that we're designing. And I said to the designer, listen, don't ignore the ceiling. We don't have the budget to put millwork on the ceiling. Love doing that. Don't even want to put the budget into doing a wallpaper on the ceiling. Can do that. I said, think about broadcasting a color up there and make it saturated and make it high gloss. Do something exciting in this space. So do not ignore your ceilings, and especially in rooms where a home office or a gym where there's a lot of stuff everywhere, you don't have a lot of opportunity to do things elsewhere because there's a lot of equipment in the room. Don't ignore that ceiling. It's a good opportunity. Guys, I wish I could stay on with you longer. Like I said, we have a conference call that we've got to get to. If you missed any portion, find me on YouTube. You'll see this whole replay on YouTube for the Interior Design Advocate. If you're not following me at my design studio, what you doing? At IDH Designs. You can see what we're working on at IDH Designs. And I've made the pledge that I will spend more time taking you guys into the design studio. Posted something just today, actually. And then if you're not following me on my online design brand, online education, at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius there. Guys, I am sorry I couldn't go along with you today. I know there are a lot of questions I didn't get to. Mwah, hugs and kisses. Please forgive me. Next week, I will be able to stay on longer to get to as many questions as I possibly can. We're talking about kitchen renovation, so bring your kitchen topic questions. Renovation for kitchens, plan for the best, expect the worst. All right, guys, I've got a bolt. I've got a meeting. Love to you, hugs, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.